The following is presented with limited editing. Those interviewed are witnesses to history and deserve to have their stories heard in their entirety. After you and this group of men got captured, what was the process after that?
Well, they just started walking us back. Pigs walking us back. Of course, they started a question. We had an officer. There was an officer was a lieutenant, and I don't even know who he was. What outfit, where he was with another group or not, I don't know. But he was with us when we was captured. And they started questioning us, and he said, "These men will give you their name, rank, and serial number, and that's all." And he said, this German officer could speak good English. He said, "You don't have to tell me anything." He said, I know that you guys are all from the 23rd Armored Infantry." He said, I know it. He said, "I know what you're up for." He said, "You're taking 106 Division's place." So those guys had ways of, and there's so doggone many of them could speak good English.
Really?
Good English.
Huh.
And they, like, well, the 106th Division, not the only one, they run over the 28th Division, give them quite a beating too, and they had a lot of American stuff, Jeeps and so on, and they'd turn the road signs around, pointing to, they had outfits going in a different direction what they're supposed to go, and they had a mess.
What was your general impression of the Nazi soldiers or the German soldiers that you encountered?
Well, they were tough. They were good soldiers.
Did you ever have any personal conversations with, or one-on-one conversations with any of them that spoke English?
Oh, I've talked to some of them, but not much conversation.
Really?
You know? Not much conversation.
Now, you had told me a story the last time I was here, and I think, if I remember right, it was right before you guys were getting ready to go on your first march, that they had like a bunch of soup or something like that, and some guy smarted off and they just dumped the whole thing. Do I have that story right?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
That was when that was actually was captured.
Okay.
Okay. I showed you that map where we walked. Well, that was when we was up at I can't think of the name of that town now. It was up close to the Baltic Sea. North Sea. North Sea comes up in the northern part of Germany, up north of Berlin. We was 160 kilometers from Berlin, or 165, I believe, from Berlin. And that's when the Russians started coming in there, and they were gonna barley and potato soup. They had some big kettles of barley and potato soup, and some of those guys got smart with them, and they just turned the kettles over and dumped it out.
And that was right before you.
They was going to give us a little can of hot soup before we started on this hike back to when we was going back to I can't think of the name of that town either. Right close to right below Berlin.
From St. Vith. What? I don't know, maybe you could tell me if you remember what was that first day like?
What was the first day like?
Yeah, what like after you and the other men got captured, what happened?
Well, they just started marching us back. That's all. And there was very little conversation went on. You know, what are you gonna say? You know.
Did was that where you'd said something about one of the Germans saying that the 7th had been destroyed up in Holland? Was that on that first day, or was it?
That's when they took us back. They took us back to a little headquarters thing, and took our name, rank, and serial number. That's when the sergeant told them. He said, "No, you didn't destroy us," but he thought they'd wiped us out.
There had to be a little bit of pride in being able to tell him that. You thought you had us, but you didn't. So, I'm sorry, you'll have to refresh my memory. From St. Vith, what was the first stop? It was Stalag. Maybe tell me about that.
Well, we stopped in the edge of Cologne. I guess we stopped first for a little while. We crossed the Rhine River on the bridge, the Remagen Bridge. You heard of the Remagen Bridge?
Yeah.
We crossed on the Remagen Bridge, and there was a dud land on that bridge. A dud bomb.
Oh my!
And there's one that went through. It had a big hole in the bridge, but they were guiding us around that hole. But then we went on to the other side, and they put us in some kind of an old building and kept us over till the next morning. And then we got out there and started on our journey towards Stalag 12A.
Okay. So once you got to Stalag 12A, did you guys stay there for a little bit?
Yeah, we stayed for a little while. Not long, but we stayed for a little while, and then they moved us out there, and we went to 4B or 2B or something, or Mühlberg. And then we went from Mühlberg to New Brandenburg. And then we went from Brandenburg to Stargard. And then the Russians got to coming in, and they were getting too close, so they turned us around, and we walked back to New Brandenburg. And we stayed overnight in New Brandenburg, and we got on a 40 horses and eight men, open boxcars, and rode to Stalag 10B at Bremervordi.
Now the Stalags, is that the German word for prison?
Uh-huh.
What What did the? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there's your tags.
This is my dog tags. This is my
The prisoner tags.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're kind of curled up, but that's them.
This one says Stalag 11A. Is that right?
I think it was 12A.
12A.
Well,
Okay.
that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. So I have no clue about anything with the Stalags or anything like that. So the first one you went to was 12A, right?
Right, 12A.
What did it look like? Was it just like a bunch of barbed wire in an encampment, or was it a big
Yeah, it was-
metal building? Or
They had kind of barracks like in there, but they had. Let me put this back.
okay, yeah.
They had barbed wire entanglements around them, and they had regular barracks, but there was nothing in them. Cold water, and that was it.
No beds or cots or anything.
Nope.
Would they feed you guys?
Very little. We called it grass soup. I don't know what was in it. It looks different kinds of green stuff. And we get an old can of that. And then we'd, once in a while, we'd get a rutabaga soup. You know, it's kind of like turnip soup, you know. And maybe once a week we'd get a loaf of bread divided between 12 men. And they'd give you a loaf of bread. They'd give somebody a loaf of bread, so you divide it among these 12 men, and you better divide it pretty evenly. You're trying to divide cut a loaf of bread up to feed 12 hungry men, all of them hungry. You better cut it pretty close.
So no pork steaks and mashed potatoes or anything.
No pork steak, no mashed potatoes.
Did you ever get any packages like from the Red Cross?
Later on we got some packages from the Red Cross. But we were up at Stargard when we finally got them. We went through all the rest of this without anything. We got up to Stargard. That's the Red Cross from Switzerland. Buying some. We got some stuff.
Do you remember what was in the package?
Oh, not exactly. We got it. There was a package of crackers of some kind, and some canned fish. And I believe maybe there was a chocolate bar in there, just a solid piece of chocolate. And there's a can of, we call it potted meat. There was a little can of that. I can't think of what else in there. There was a lot. It was a box about that big, about that long, maybe that long, and about that wide, and probably like that.
Okay. Chocolate must have tasted pretty good at that point.
You betcha. You betcha. Yeah.
To be honest, I've never read any stories about anybody that was taken prisoner or anything. You're it. You're all that I've. You're my only source of information. What did you guys do? I mean, did they use you and the other prisoners as labor, or did they just march you around, or what did they do?
We done more marching around than anything else, because the American Army is coming one way and the Russian Army is coming the other way. And of course it was in the wintertime, and there wasn't much to do about all the labor they had to do. Like I told them the other night, I was talking here about something was said about that, and I said, well, you know what the shice wagon is? I said, that's where they clean the toilet system of the camp out, and they loaded that. They pumped that out in tanks, and they had it on wagons, and they used these prisoners as horses to pull that, and they'd take it out and spread it on their farms.
Huh. So is that mainly the work that they had people doing? Which is pulling those wagons and stuff?
They had, that's what they did. When it needed to be done, that's what they did.
Okay.
But there's no other work. They didn't have them out digging ditches or anything like that, because there wasn't nothing like that to do.
It was just a lot of walking.
Just a lot of walking.
Man.
A lot of walking.
Huh. I remember the last time I was here, you was telling me about taking the clothes and putting them through like some sort of heater.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. Every so often they'd delouse her, and they'd put your clothes through a heat treatment. You'd go down and take your clothes off, and they'd put your things through there, and they'd bring them back to you, and you put your clothes back on. But they was hot. If I was in the last, they'd kill you. And I was lucky. I'm lucky. I never had a louse all the time. And it was just luck, because the fact of, hey, when you wear the same underwear and everything for 4 months and a half, you don't have a bath, you know?
Did they ever give you a chance to clean up or anything like that at any of the stops?
We had a wash basin and these things. We'd have no soap, cold water. You wash your hands, rinse your hands off in cold water. That's all. There was no heat.
Man, oh man. So what?
I'll give you an idea.
Oh yeah.
I A little heavier than I am now, because I lost some weight. Of course, I did that on purpose. Uh, but normally I weighed about 165 pounds. I weighed 112 pounds before I got on the ship in Lahore, France to come home.
And you're about 6 foot, probably? 6 foot tall?
About 5'10".
5'10"? Okay, so that's still 112 pounds. That's it's getting down to the frame.
Hey, you betcha.
And still having to walk.
Yep.
Golly. Do you remember ever seeing any bombers flying overhead whenever you guys were marching?
Yeah, I've been bombed.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, we've been places where they bombed.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Now I can't tell you the name of the town, but
Uh-huh.
we were on the move, and the bombers come over and they bombed a town or two, well, more than one. Dropped bombs in town.
Holy cow. So what was that like?
It scattered everybody, and the guards scattered with you.
Wow. Did so that happened a couple times?
Well, it happened more than a couple of times. It happened more than a couple of times.